fight takes place in the PFL Europe lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an MMA specialist and stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in officially at 155 pounds and holds a professional record of 5 victories and 3 defeats. Fighting out of Bathgate, Scotland, Dylan the Nuke Tuke! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a striking specialist and stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 155.5 pounds and holds a perfect professional record of 7 wins and no losses. Fighting out of Liverpool, England, Hughes! Your referee and judge, Thomas Bronder.
3 5-minute rounds with a trip to Paris on the line. Both of these men trying to keep the dream of the PFL European Championship and a $100,000 prize alive.
Now the challenge early for Conor Hughes is to try and figure out this movement of Dylan Tuke. It's easier to defeat him when he's pushing forward aggressively, but this is what we're talking about. He's been put together again by these coaches. They've controlled him, they've pulled him out of that chaos a little bit so he can still be as effective, but not quite be as vulnerable.
Southpaw stance and the unorthodox movement for Tuke in the gray. Hughes is in the green trunks.
A lot of feints from Tuke so far. I like what Hughes is doing. He's not really biting. He's showing that side kick to Tuke.
Kickboxing world champion Conor Hughes, very controlled at this range, very measured.
Lifelong mixed martial artist.
Absolutely.
As for his entire family. They put a gi on him when he was born.
Is that right?
I like that side kick.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a great way to deal with those feints. Hughes is waiting for the right moment to counter one of those feints. Trying to get a read.
Dan, thought it was really interesting the way in that last word, these guys talking back and forth and addressing the fact Conor Hughes is undefeated, Tuke has some losses. And the value of lessons learned in a loss. And also, you have to acknowledge that the level of competition that Dylan Tuke has lost to. I mean, Sadiq Yusuf is a very highly thought of fighter who's now in the UFC.
He's just jumped at opportunities that have been put in front of him, whereas Conor Hughes, he came through a solid amateur career and learned some lessons there. He wasn't undefeated as an amateur, but when he turned professional, it was like, right, okay. And oh, that was a nice straight left from Dylan Tuke, lunged into range.
Beautiful way to land that off all his movement. Finally paying off all those feints.
I think Dylan Tuke's trying to play into some frustration here. He's trying to get Conor to lunge forward. Look, hands are down now. He's starting to walk.
Not even looking at the opponent, just jogging around the outside of the cage here. And I think you're absolutely right, Dan Hardy, because this does frustrate a fighter who wants to be in the pocket and throwing.
Beautiful way to get out of the way, too. Can he keep this up for 3 rounds, though?
Smile on the face of Conor Hughes there. Thing is, at some point, Hughes is going to overcommit, and that's going to make it much easier for Tuke to level change and take him down, because ultimately, I feel like that's what Tuke wants to do in this fight. At some point, he's just not being rushed about it and allowing Conor Hughes to defend those takedowns easy.
I am curious about that strategy as well, if that is indeed the game plan from the Scottish camp. Tuke with 3 submission victories in his career. Conor Hughes with 4 submission victories in his career. To go with a couple of knockouts as well.
Staying calm for Conor Hughes right now is going to be very difficult.
Conor's got to be aware of that left kick as well. He's going high and to the body with it. Very easy for something like that to sneak through the guard and do some damage. Especially because the liver's open on that side, Story said.
Tuke has showed it a couple times, but he has a throwing it full power, full speed, so you could surprise Hughes with it when he throws it faster.
That's another one of those things, if he keeps throwing to the body, that's going to try and suck Connor Hughes into maybe catching that kick, reaching for it in a desperation attempt to create some action. Again, it feels all very calculated from Dylan Tuke. And there's the high kick attempt again.
And Hughes is staying calm, but if he's doing this for 3 rounds, he's losing the fight. So at a certain point, he's got to step it up, and he's got to have to commit more to his strikes. That's exactly what the Nuke wants.
Nicely tan snuck through there for Dylan Tuke, whose unorthodox movement has really dictated the way this fight is happening in round number 1.
Oh, beautiful! And the left eye is immediately swelling up.
Connor Hughes through the heel.
Hook kick. Wow.
And now they're talking back and forth. Hughes having to reach deep into the old toolbox, pull out the hook kick. Oh, the blood pours from his nose.
Yeah, it's from the first left hand that Tuke landed. That beautiful short left hand.
There's the belt for round number 1.
More aggression from Hughes already. Coming forward.
That little sliding side kick's a really nice technique.
Hughes is already standing more athletic, more bend in his knees to explode. Takedown attempt from Tuke.
And you heard the cue from the corner. I think it was Stevie Ray in the corner that said, when you're ready, Dylan, when you're ready for this, a takedown attempt.
Great timing on that.
Leg battle going on here at the moment. Tuke trying to get a wrap on that left leg of Hughes. Hughes trying to keep it clear and trying to do something with those overhooks, even though that position's not ideal for him. Double underhooks for Dylan Tuke.
What you do, everybody in the gym, let's go.
Oh, beautiful knee there.
Sent that knee right up over the shoulder of Connor Hughes.
Very quick.
Good separation here from Hughes. Over a minute gone in the second round.
I think Tuke's very happy with how this fight's going so far.
Go back under the gate, go back under the top. Any comments?
So we're going to see Hughes taking some more risks now. You can see him starting to jog forward a little bit.
And confirming what Dan Hardy thought about the strategy, you can hear the corner of Dylan Tuke trying to draw Connor to saying when he commits, they want him to go underneath for another takedown attempt.
You know, and the laughing and smiling is all a part of this tactic as well. See, now Connor Hughes is not smiling back at him. He's not playful anymore. Now he's, oh, that was a beautiful left hand again.
Beautiful takedown from Tuke.
Used the body lock, used his right knee to stop the legs of Connor Hughes, and this is where we end up.
He's got the back. Trying to go around that leg from Hughes again. If he can't take him down, he can burn the clock. Because so far,
Wow, 2 hooks in.
Nice back take here.
interesting.
And here's the body lock. Body triangle from Dylan Tuke.
And he's going to work that nose from the back, which is already sensitive. And the body triangle's locked in on the top side as well, which makes it much easier to control and keep.
And no room on that far side because of the fence for Connor Hughes to roll over and put the pressure on what for him is the correct side.
And one thing I'm going to draw your attention to, we've got Stevie Ray in the corner, the Scottish Twister himself. We need to be aware of what's going on here because you know Dylan Tuke has picked up that technique from Stevie Ray. Even though he's working on this rear naked choke right now, we know he's got that Scottish Twister in his back pocket as well.
And here it is. Look,
Yep.
that's when he takes that right leg and sends it to the, puts his instep on the far, behind the far knee of Connor Hughes. That's what that's setting up.
He is allowing him to turn in. Very, very interesting.
Stop there, just keep backing your shot.
This is that leg position I'm talking about. If Connor Hughes isn't careful and he tries to turn his body too aggressively toward Dylan Tuke to turn and face,
Good job from Hughes here.
Nice work by Hughes.
Great job from Tuke, though.
Tuke just ran right around and got back on the back.
It's the best version of Dylan Tuke I've ever seen, I've got to tell you. You know, his fights are always a lot of fun, but there's a level of crazy that sometimes makes him vulnerable, which we're not seeing right now. This is very, very measured by him.
Yeah, a lot of people question him. You know, you look at his record, 5 wins, 3 losses, 3 knockout losses, but by far the best performance from Dylan Tuke so far in his career.
And if anyone wants to see how tough Dylan Tuke is, watch his fight against Adam Ventry. He was dropped, he was hurt in that fight, and still came back to turn it around.
He's looking for a wrist right here. Trying to get a hold of the arm that Hughes is posturing on, but
30 seconds left. Another good round for Dylan Tuke.
he's very smooth on the ground. He's barely using any energy.
And just smothering pressure here, always staying heavy, making Conor Hughes react to what he is doing in the wrestling, now with the striking. Final 10 seconds of round number 2. All Dylan Tuke in the second frame.
2 rounds in the pocket for Dylan Tuke.
Little show of sportsmanship there. Conor Hughes in the green, Dylan Tuke in the gray. Third and final round.
Talking to both of these guys, they're both aware that if they were in the same gym as training partners, they would be really, really good friends. But they keep this barrier up against one another. Now, you saw it just come down a second at the start of the third round there, that appreciation for one another. But then straight back to the game plan for Dylan Tuke. On his bike, moving laterally, stinging his opponent.
Hughes trying to get into that right range and freeze the feet of Dylan Tuke, but Tuke refuses to stay still.
I'd like to see Conor Hughes work the legs a little more at Dylan Tuke, try and take some of this footwork away from him. 1 or 2 calf kicks could change this fight a lot, but again, with third round now, he's got to work fast.
Oh, very fast with that left hand, Dylan Tuke.
Beautiful bump off the rear foot just to fire him across the center line and throw that left hand out.
And every time, sorry Dan, every time Conor Hughes plants his feet to try and turn on a powerful punch, Tuke just takes that as his cue to change levels, to grab a hold, and to create this exact situation right here.
Great game planning, really fantastic work, doing their research, understanding how to get into the game of an undefeated fighter like Conor Hughes. This is the work of James Doolan and Stevie Ray in the corner.
Beautiful takedown again from Dylan Tuke. Love how he's attacking the legs when he's got a body lock.
And you can see that the long limbs of Dylan Tuke allow him to do this very readily. Grab that body triangle, and that just saps your ability to breathe, defend yourself.
You can stay here all
Good
day,
job from
Dylan
Hughes
Tuke.
here.
Hughes turning to the side where put that foot flat on the mat. There's Stevie Ray.
There we go.
Stay on the choking arm.
And you guys know what it's like.
He's got it. It's very tight.
That looks like it's across the face, but he's still going to squeeze for it.
Just
He can still get it.
Slow exhale, 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 and lucky. Perfect time to let go of that, Dylan. Beautiful work.
I think I'd be tempted to work across the nose if I'd already done that kind of damage to my opponent. You can see him tapping at the nose, which is going to be really sensitive right now.
Hughes got to be so frustrated, undefeated, and he just can't get a hold of Tuke on the feet.
Well, it's a nightmare kind of fight when you're being smothered in these ground exchanges, and even when you do get back to the feet, an opponent is so elusive that you can't mount any meaningful offense. It's one thing to feel like your opponent is landing and doing damage to you, but if you can't do anything to them, it takes away everything. Dylan Tuke with an exclamation of his own.
He's having a good time in there. He's telling him you just wouldn't listen.
The referee admonishing Tuke for some colorful language there.
Yes.
Keeps diving for that rear naked choke every time. Connor Hughes is tucking his chin, but then he's dealing with the pressure across his nose.
Keep packing the shots, though. Pack your shots, keep working that choke.
Less than 90 seconds now to go.
Keep
Go,
motivating.
keep
Body
working.
shot, body shot.
I wonder if he's going to see some desperation here from Hughes, which is going to try and force turn into the guard of Dylan Tuke and get caught in that Scottish twister again. I'm still watching for that right foot of Dylan Tuke to wander across the centre line and hook the far side knee. It'll be interesting to know what Jakub Kasuba's making of this performance, how he's going to get his hands on him.
Keep the head tight. Keep the head tight.
Good job from Tuke, staying active, giving the referee not even a chance to think about standing them up, burning the clock, being dangerous, still looking for submissions.
Keep it control.
30 seconds.
Completely shut down Connor Hughes. What a performance.
Control of the upper body. Pack your shot.
Clearly the best performance of Dylan Tuke's career.
Yeah, and talk
Clearly.
about surprises. Big surprise for me that Tuke is taking out Connor Hughes the way he's doing here tonight.
The previously undefeated Connor Hughes came into this fight in the minds of most as a favorite over Dylan Tuke.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision and booking their place in the PFL Europe playoffs, Dylan Tuke!
What round did they give him?
All right, here inside the smart cage, Dylan Tuke. One-way traffic, pretty dominant performance. We saw the crazy movement in round number 1, and then in rounds 2 and 3, you took it to the ground. Was that always the game plan?
Yeah, I have the best team in the world at high level and the best coach in the world. James Dillon, he just told me to, if I move and if I'm smart, I can beat anyone in the world. I'm honestly a world beater. Yeah, I'm so fucking happy. Sorry, Dawson.
We saw you get on his back, working for the rear naked choke, and then I saw maybe that right leg coming over as he was maybe going to twist
That
back.
Scottish twister.
Were you looking for that Scottish twister a la Stevie Ray?
Stevie was trying to go over with me in the back, but I'm a bit stupid, so I was like, I'm just going to go for the choke. But yeah, no, that's his move, the Scottish twister, and I'm just blessed to have him over here. He took time away from his family after going back to back camps in the USA, and I want to emulate my big brother now and go over to the USA and scalp them Yanks.
All right, let's bring in. We already know. Dylan Tuke advances to the PFL playoffs for Europe in Paris. Jakub Kasuba did the same thing just moments ago. What was that, Jakub?
I did it in 1 round.
He did it in 1 round.
Fucking dick. Look at you little kid.
You ran like your 2 front
And you
teeth.
couldn't catch me, bitch. You couldn't catch me, you stiff bitch.
I thought you were taller.
I am taller than you. Look at your big beak. You'll see now at Paris, mate. I'll be
can't
drinking hot
even-
chocolate over your dead body.
I can't even understand you.
Good, you're an idiot. Look at your little midget.
God, you're...
Can you understand me? Yeah, because I can understand me, you bitch. You understand that, do you?
You're one of
Peach guy. Peach guy. Understand that, peach guy?
You're in Polish.
No, kurwa. Kurwa, my chick.
Well,
I'll see you in Paris. You can't talk. Let's just do a stadium.
This will be the matchup in Paris. Jakub Kasuba, Dylan Tuke with a trip to the PFL Europe final on